Good afternoon, everyone. I am going to do my makeup quickly and then I'm going to get a coffee. And then I figured it'd be really fun to do a question and answer in my car because a couple months ago I did like a question and answer thing on Instagram and I said I'd be posting it on YouTube. Never got around to it, of course. I'm such a procrastinator. So I figured now that I have the time, I will go do that.
My
so I'm
friend
gonna do my
nostalgia, I found you when I heard the sweet sound of the ones who I once knew so well. In a voice memo from years ago, we were laughing about some nonsense. Oh, how I miss those friends. Circumstances made it so that I'll never see their faces, except for on the internet, where I'll never really know what's going on behind this.
Okay, I'm all done with my makeup. It's currently 10:41 and I need a coffee. Like, I feel dead. So, we're gonna go do that. Okay, I just got my coffee. I got an iced vanilla latte with oat milk. So, we're gonna test this baby. And I really hope it's good. I feel like coffee's always like a hit or miss. That's good. That's good. Yum. Okay, we're gonna head home. It's 11 o'clock. We're gonna head home, do the question and answer in my car, and then I'm gonna eat lunch because I'm very hungry. See you at my house. I'm back home now, so I wanted to get into the questions, but I wanted to say these are the questions that people had asked me on Instagram, and I had answered some of them on Instagram, but I did say I would answer some in a YouTube video. So these are questions back in like February people asked me when I posted that I was pregnant. So that was like 2 months after I had found out. People like asked me a bunch of questions, so I'll be answering them in this video. And then also people asked me questions when we moved. So we moved April 1st, so I'll be answering those questions as well. So let's get into it. And my throat is literally so dry. Okay, so these questions are all coming from Instagram. And some of these questions I have to like scroll all the way back up to find them because it's been a while. So I'm going to start off with the pregnancy questions first. Someone asked, were you guys trying? I would say, I never know how to answer this question. I would say yes and no. Like, we did say like if it happens, it happens. We weren't safe, but we weren't like not trying, if that makes sense. So yes and no. And then someone asked, are you finding out what you're having? Yes, we are finding out we're having, but I am 22 weeks today, today is Thursday, April 27th, and I still do not know what we're having. So we moved, like I said, April 1st, and we were supposed to have an appointment right before we moved to find out the gender. And then we ended up having to cancel that appointment. So we got here in Texas, we made an appointment, which was yesterday actually. And then things have fell through with our insurance. It's just been very confusing. Texas does it very differently, like appointment wise, than Pennsylvania does. So we had to cancel that appointment. So I still don't know what we're having, and at this point I'm just like, we might as well just not even find out. Like, I've waited so long already that I'm just like, I really don't care either way. Obviously, like, I just want the baby to be healthy. So either way, I don't care, obviously. But we do not know yet. But if we find out, or when we do, I'll obviously be announcing it. So that is that. So the next question is, when is your due date? So my due date is August 31st, and my birthday is August 9th. So I think that would be so cool if we had birthdays that were close together. And also I really hope I go a little bit earlier than like a little bit later. I don't know, that's just something I want. And then someone asked, how have you been feeling? So now I've been so great. Haven't been sick or anything. In the first trimester, like in the very beginning, I was really nauseous. Like, I had to make sure I was eating. I always had to basically like make sure I was stuffed, because if I wasn't, I just felt so nauseous. And right in the mornings, like, I would literally have to make something. And I would always carry snacks around with me, because like as soon as I felt like I was feeling sick, like, and I didn't like cure that, like, I would literally be sick all day, and it was the worst feeling ever. But I got over that, and luckily I'm feeling much better in my second trimester. I'm a little scared to get into the third trimester, because I hear that you get like exhaustion back, and being exhausted is not fun, especially when you have to do things. And I was really exhausted the first trimester. Like, I would have to take like 3-hour naps. That's how tired I would be. So I really hope that doesn't happen, and if it does, it's okay. But yeah, I'm really liking the feeling of feeling like motivated and pretty good. So alright, someone said girl or boy. I have no idea. I will say, in the very beginning, I really had a strong urge that I was having a boy. I don't know if it was just more because like I was like, oh, a little boy would be so cool, just because there's so many girls in my family. But my husband, this entire pregnancy, he's like, I really think you're having a girl. So now I'm leaning more toward I think I'm having a girl, but I still have no idea. Like, some people just like know, and some people just like don't, and that's me. I just have no idea what I'm having, and like I said, I don't care either way. I just want a happy and healthy baby. The next question is, have you had any cravings yet? I honestly would say, like, I have not had any cravings really. Like, people always say like, oh yeah, I was craving this, and I don't really crave a specific thing. It's only when I see someone eating something and then I'm like, oh wow, like I could have that. Or like if I see someone eating a burger, then I'm like, oh, that looks so good. But I wouldn't necessarily say like I crave something. I will say, in the very beginning, I was eating a lot of fruit and like yogurt bowls, and that was really good. And I still crave fruit. So the only thing I will say is like I crave fruit, but that's really it. Like, I don't really crave anything like specific. But also, I love Oreo milkshakes. Like, if I can get my hands on an Oreo milkshake, like, that like feeds my soul. So maybe like that's another craving, because before, like, I didn't really drink milkshakes because they hurt my stomach. So yeah, so maybe that's a craving too. But I honestly don't have that many cravings. So how did you tell your family? So I actually videotaped my friends and my family's reaction, which was so special. I'm so happy I like did that. Not even just to like make a video out of it, but it's just like something so special that we can look back on and like remember. And I remember thinking like, it was so special how we found out. Like, we found out a couple days before Christmas, and we told my husband's family the day before Christmas, and then we told my family on Christmas. So it's just like so special how it all played out. Like, I never would have thought like I would have gotten pregnant in that time frame, and then being able to like tell my family and friends on Christmas, like, the greatest news ever, was honestly like the best time of my life. So I'm just so happy we have that on video. So I will be posting that soon, so look out for that, because I'm so excited, and everyone's reactions are all like so different but all like so sweet. So I'm really excited to share that. So then the same person said, tell us how you found out. So I actually posted a video of me finding out, so you should go watch that. But I found out, so like I said, like, we weren't trying, but we weren't not trying. But I seriously had no idea. Like, when people say like it happens when you least expect it, it is 100% true. Because there's been months where I really thought I was pregnant and I wasn't, but I like seriously was like 100% like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, and then I wasn't. And this month, the month I found out, I was like, no way I'm pregnant, like, and then I was pregnant. So it seriously just happened when you least expect it. So I had found out on December 22nd. I think it was like a Thursday. So the reason I took a test was because, so a couple of days prior, I was feeling just so tired. Like, that was my number one symptom, was exhaustion. I, like, literally would not be able to make it through the day without taking a nap. And looking back, it's like crazy because I still didn't really think I was pregnant. I was like, maybe I'm just really tired. Like, I remember I was like working a lot and there was a lot of stress going on. So I was like, maybe like I'm just really tired from all of this. But looking back, I should have like known. But yeah, so I was taking like 3-hour naps, and that's so unusual for me. Like, I am not a napper, like, whatsoever. And then I like went to work the day I found out I was pregnant, and I was like telling my coworker, and I was like, yeah, like, I've just been so tired, and like some things have been like grossing me out, and I have felt like so bloated, and just like all this stuff. I was just kind of like venting to her, and then she was like, are you sure you're not pregnant? And I was like, no, like, and that was literally my reaction. I was like, no. I was like, no, like, no. And then obviously I was thinking about it after I got home from work, and my husband was taking a nap, so I was like, this is like the perfect time to at least find out if I am pregnant or not while he's sleeping. So I took a test, and then obviously I was pregnant. So it was really like so special, honestly. I'm so glad I also had that on videotape, because as you can see my reaction, like, I was laughing, I was crying, I was like in shock. It was just like the best moment of my life, like finding out. Like, obviously I was scared, but it was more joy than anything, and you can see it in the video. So I would highly recommend you watch that video, because even now I like look back and I watch it and I'm literally in tears, because it's just like so emotional. But it's really cute. I love it. Have you thought about names? Yes. Since I was like 19, or maybe a little younger than that, I had like a whole list of names, of baby names. So we have a whole list, and I have stars next to like the qualifiers of the ones we like more over the other ones. So there's like one girl name that I think we're both set on. So if we have a girl, like, we're definitely naming her this name. And if we have a boy, we're still trying to figure it out. All the guy names I like, my husband doesn't like, so we'll have to work through that. But yes, we do have like a bunch of names picked out. Someone asked again, when is your due date? It is August 31st. So I am actually 22 weeks today. That's crazy. Or wait, let me double check. Yeah, I'm 22 weeks today. So I'm like 5.5 months pregnant. Yeah. And then I have like 4 months to go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. So yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, now I'm going to get into the moving questions, but I have to find them. So the number one question was, why did you guys move? So there's a lot of different reasons, but I will say that we have always wanted to move, whether or not we could see ourselves living in a certain state for long or not. We just have always wanted to do that. We have always wanted to get out of our hometown and just kind of experience something new for a little bit. And we, obviously I'm pregnant, so it was like a huge decision. So we were like, if this is on our heart, we might as well do it now before like the baby comes and things get a little more complicated. And I really wanted to just be like settled in somewhere, obviously, before the baby comes. So that's why we did it before we moved. A lot of people were like, how did you guys like move so fast and move with a baby on the way, like leaving your family and friends? Obviously it was really hard, but we both would never hold ourselves back if we want to do something just because like family is somewhere. Obviously we love our family so much, but I would still move somewhere whether or not my family lived there or not. But I will say it has been really, really difficult getting closer to my due date and realizing like we literally do not have any family here. So that has been difficult, but it has grown my husband and I so much closer, so I am very thankful for that, whether we move back or not. So yeah. So then my next question is, how long do you plan on living in Texas? And I didn't even mention I live in Texas. But yeah, we signed a year lease, so we're probably staying here a year. But a couple things have happened over the last few days where we have been considering maybe moving back a little bit sooner, like moving back to Pennsylvania, just because of a couple reasons. So yeah, we don't know. Everything is up in the air, which is a little stressful. But I'm like really good with just going with the flow. I don't allow things to really stress me out. Like I'll let it stress me out for like maybe 10 minutes and then I'm like, no, it's fine. Like I know the Lord will provide. I know the Lord will work everything out. So I just have to calm down. So I don't really get too like emotionally stressed. And if I do, it'll like be for 10 minutes like I said. So yeah, I actually forgot what the question was. Oh, how long do you plan on living in Texas? So yeah, we signed a year lease, but we don't know how long or how short it will be as of now. How has it been living in Texas? It's been really good. We've only been here for about a month now, and I would say like we're pretty much settled in. At first, like the first couple weeks, it was really stressful for me just because like when people say Texas drivers are bad, like they are, honestly, like they're like it's just funny, like they're just so different. Also in Texas, it's like everything is highway, whereas in Pennsylvania it's basically all back roads, so it's just really different, and there's a lot of construction going on here, so you really just have to get used to the roads, which it really caused me a lot of anxiety, but now I'm used to it and now I like it. But I do love like our area. We live in an apartment complex and we have like a pool and a gym and a dog park, and it's just like perfect. I really do love where we live. It's honestly has made me so happy, and I'm so happy that we decided to live in an apartment rather than a house, because I don't work and my husband works Monday through Friday, so I'm home pretty much all day by myself until he gets home from work. So it's just like comforting to know like there's other people like around me, even though I don't talk to them. It's still comforting to know like I have people if I want to talk to them, and it's just kind of like a safety thing. So yeah, I am really happy we chose an apartment. At first, when my husband mentioned an apartment, I was like, no way, I'm not living in an apartment, especially with a dog. But now I'm very glad we chose that. I'm like going on a bunch of tangents. Sorry. I'm like in a talking mood, I guess. I don't know. So do you see yourself moving back to Pennsylvania? So yes, like I said, I don't know how long we plan on living here. The last few days we have been talking about moving home. It has been a little hard for us living in Texas, knowing that a baby's on the way and we don't have any friends or family here. So we have been talking about it, and obviously we knew that coming into this, but we have realized like a lot, and we have realized like we do want support. But we still do want to live in like other states. Like our top states would be Florida and Arizona. Like we really love Florida and Arizona, so we can definitely see ourselves living there like long term. Whereas Texas, we have always said like we probably would not live here long term. Like it's not somewhere where we could see ourselves long term. So we have been talking about that, and we're like, all right, if we can't see ourselves living here long term, even though we just basically moved here, we might as well pack it up and move back to Pennsylvania until we have the baby and settle in a little more. Just because like we knew coming into Texas, we knew moving to Texas it wouldn't be long term, but getting here it really sunk in. And we're like, all right, if it's not long term, we don't really want to raise a baby here by ourselves. So that's something we've just been like processing. So now these are questions about Dustin and I. So someone asked, how did you and Dustin meet? And this is a question I get all the time, and I never answer it on Instagram just because our story is so long. And I really never know how to start it, but for the sake of this video, I'm obviously gonna get right to the point. So we had met in 2019. We had known mutual people. He was having a party one night, and my sister invited me. She's like, hey, we should go to like this guy's party. And I was like, no, like, I don't really want to go. I'm pretty sure, like, I was working late that night, and I was like, I just want to, like, go home and, like, go to bed. And she's like, no, come on, like, it'll be really fun. And she was, like, begging me to go, and I was like, all right, fine. And I knew my other friends would be there, so I was like, no, like, I want to see my friends, like, it'll be fun, whatever. So we went to the party, and I had heard, through people that he was going to YWAM, and if you don't know what that is, it's just Youth with a Mission. You pretty much pick a base wherever in the world, and you learn about God, do outreaches, that kind of stuff. So he was planning on going to YWAM. That is why he, like, threw that party, to kind of, like, his last hurrah, his last saying goodbye to everyone. And I was thinking about going to YWAM, so I was like, that's so cool, like, I want to talk to him about it. So I never had met him before, but I kind of knew what he looked like, and I obviously saw him across the room, so I went up to him, and I'm like, hey, I heard you're going to YWAM. I was kind of just, like, talking to him about it. He was like, yeah, and he honestly didn't really give me the time of day, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I just, like, walked away. I was like, whatever, like, maybe he's just really shy, which he can be, but at the time he did tell me, like, obviously, like, later on he just didn't want a girlfriend, which that wasn't my intention anyway. But yeah, so then later in the night we were just, like, hanging out with different people, and then I had went up to him again, and we were just like, oh no, oh yeah, so then later in the night I actually had spilled a drink on my shirt, and I went up to him, and funny thing, I actually did it on purpose. So I had an excuse to talk to him. So I was like, hey, I spilled a drink on my shirt, like, do you have a shirt I can wear? And he actually had a younger sister, so he was like, yeah, I'll get you, like, one of my sister's shirts. And I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. So he gave me a shirt, and we were upstairs in the kitchen, and I went in the bathroom, and I was, like, changing, and he was waiting for me in the kitchen, and I walked out not expecting him to be there, and I'm like, oh, hey, and he's like, hey, and I was like, oh, he waited for me, like, that's so nice. So I just kind of was talking to him again. I'm like, yeah, so about YWAM, and he was, like, finally talking to me about YWAM, and really, like, opened up to me, and I was telling him how I really would to go, and we just had, like, the longest conversation. It was so nice to just really talk to him. So, and then we exchanged Snapchat, and then later that night I, like, went home. He asked for my number, and then the next day we went on a date, and then I'm pretty sure every day after that we literally hung out up until we left for YWAM. So that happened. We met in, like, May of 2019, and then I left, like, I think I left the beginning of June for YWAM, and he left the end of June. So it all kind of happened fast, but we were literally madly in love with each other. We, like, dated right away, right before YWAM. We were on and off throughout YWAM, and then, yeah, a lot of stuff happened in between that, and then we were, like, broken up. We got back together of May of 2021, I believe. We got engaged in June of 2021. We got married October of 2021. And yeah, now it's, what month is it? It's April of 2023. So we have quite the story, so I never know how to tell people because it's a lot in one. But yeah, that is how we met, just through mutual friends at a party. And it was very organically, which I love. Like, I'm so happy we did not meet over Instagram or something, which nothing wrong with that. I'm just really happy it was, like, super organic. What is your favorite thing about your husband? I love this question. My favorite thing about my husband is he's just very, like, sweet and gentle, and when he's on your team, like, he really is, like, he is the most loyal person I have ever met in my entire life. Like, he is your ride or die. Like, he treats his friends amazing. He just, like, yeah, like, he is just a ride or die, and that is really what I love about him. You don't find many loyal people nowadays, and it just, like, speaks volumes. Like, I trust him with my entire heart, and just knowing that we're having a baby together, I feel really safe with him, knowing like how loyal he is and how like he really will do anything to like make a situation better. Like he's just such a sweet and humble man, and he is the most hard-working person I have ever met. And if you know him, you know that to be true. And yeah, I just love him so much. He is just like the most amazing man I've ever met. I seriously don't know how I got so lucky. I like think about it all the time, and I'm like, how did I find this man? So I think it's like so funny that I like worked so hard to get him, because he has also worked so hard to get me. And we have both always fought for each other. Like even when we were broken up, we both have always fought for each other. And even now in marriage, like when we have little fights or like big fights, we still fight for each other. Even if we don't want to, like we still choose each other at the end of the day. And I think that's so important. So yeah, I just love everything about him. He's the best ever. My camera stopped recording because this video is probably really long, so I think I'm going to end it here. I went on a lot of tangents, so I think it's going to be a really long video. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I've gotten so many DMs like saying how much they loved my videos and stuff, and it means the world to me. I'm so happy I finally have the time to like actually film videos and post them, whereas before like I really wanted to do it, but I was like still working, and then being pregnant like in the beginning I just had no motivation. But I'm so happy I have the time and the motivation now, so just look out for more videos, and it's been so fun to do. It truly is a passion of mine, so I just want to say thank you for watching, and let me know if you guys have any video requests or anything. So yeah, have a good day. Bye.